O Hecate, queen of the crossroads, with horse, red mullet, and moon's glow, guide us through the waves and winds, and teach us how to rise and grow. With the horse's spirit we chase our dreams, by the red mullet's abundance we thrive. Under the moon's light our souls soar, and with your grace we come alive. Welcome to Cuppa and Cards. Today we are exploring the correspondence suit of the Crossroads Oracle. We are going to be looking at the cards, the horse card, the red mullet, and the moon. So this is the last video in our series. So grab your tea. It's red tea for me. I am having a Rubio's tea today. Great for iron levels. If you're someone who struggles with anemia like I do, this is a great source of making sure you're not stripping that iron out of your body with the tannins and some of the black teas or the green teas that you may have. So grab your tea and let's get started. All right, today we are going to start with the horses card. The horses card, the keywords on this card are wild, untamed, and moving freely. So I'm going to hold that up for you so you can have a look at it. The horses card represents freedom of movement. It's that untamed energy we've all heard, like wild horses, right? It's that untamed energy. It represents Hecate's connection to the spirit of adventure and the pursuit of desire. The horse is a symbol of vitality, of expansion, and the willingness for us to follow our passions no matter where they lead. So when we pull this card for our client, the horse means wild, untamed, and moving freely, right? So this can have, of course, like any other deck of cards, right side up, upside down. I intentionally did not give you definitions for each of those because oracle cards are intended to be your interpretation. I'm giving you the key words that I felt when I created this deck, and then you would work with your client to see how they will relate directly to them. So if you pull a card and it's moving freely and you're talking to someone who maybe has a physical limitation, perhaps that's what it's referring to. It's that desire they have to move freely, or maybe your role in helping them move freely, be it through the movement of spirit, of body, of mind, however that particular word would play out. So there are ancient depictions of Hecate which show her with horses, right? One of the most common, I believe there's a depiction of her with a horse's head. I've seen many artists, modern artists too, who are creating Hecate with that horse-headed feature. In one of my, I'll have to try and see if I can get a picture to put up here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that, but I created an icon for my altar of a horse-headed Hecate. She had the body of her regular her goddess body, her female with bosoms and so forth, but she had a horse's head, right? So this card represents that energy of pulling forth, of moving, of going forward. We've all heard horsepower, right? We all know about horsepower. Everything, cars are managing horsepower. How many horsepower that thing have? This is that strength. And then we can't not talk about horses and not talk about their absolute goddess-like beauty, right? Horses are beautiful creatures, from the very long eyelashes they have to the long hair they have across the back of their necks. Some of the horses, their coats even shine in the sun. It's like they're made out of gold. So horses are absolutely the most gorgeous creatures, I believe, on the planet. This card encourages us to embrace that adventurous spirit, right? We're running through like wild horses. That's why I made these horses, this picture of these horses, like they're running through, that light behind them. They're chasing through their goals and becoming who they want to be. The horse card calls us to examine where we feel constrained, right? Where do we feel held back, and where do we need to break free? Maybe it's in your career, right? Maybe you're not getting where you need to be in your career, where you want to be. Maybe it's in a relationship. Is there something that's holding you back? Is there something that you want to explore that's not being shared by those you're in a relationship with? Whether it be one partner or many partners, whether it be a business partnership, whether it be a relationship with your mother or your child, any of these areas that may be held back or constrained, the horse card would be there to help you pull that energy in and move forward and follow your heart. This card reminds you that you're free to move, right? We are not trapped here, right? While our physical body may be trapped in a space, we may be at a point where maybe we can't get around as good as we used to. Maybe we can't walk the way we used to walk. Maybe there's something that's preventing us from going outside, whether it be weather or location or a physical limitation. Wherever those limitations lie, we're able to call upon the energy of this card and go to that different space. We can focus our energy on it. You can meditate on this card. So any of the cards that are in this deck, this is meant to be a devotional deck. While it is used to do oracle readings, it's meant to further your connection with the energy of the goddess and your own energy within you, right? So perhaps you don't believe that Hecate is the goddess, right? Perhaps you feel that you're an atheist, or you feel that the energy is within you. You know, you're an animist, or perhaps you're Christian, or perhaps you're Buddhist. You don't believe in that full deity. You can still connect with these cards. All these words are helping you pull that energy in within you. You know where that energy lies. You know where to get that inspirement from. So I'm going to hold that card up for you again. Trust your power of momentum. You have the freedom to follow your heart, and that's what this card represents. All right, our next card is Red Mullet. And for those who don't know, red mullet is a fish. You'll figure it out when I show you the card. The red mullet represents sexuality, abundance, and endurance. So for those who don't know, red mullet congregate together, right? They congregate together, and when you see them, there's a lot of them together. So we always think of red mullet as being an abundance, right? There's a lot of them around. They're also associated with death, and we've seen them as offerings left in cemeteries and things like that. If you do some research on the mullet, you'll see that. It's also seen as a symbol of fertility, and it speaks directly to the power of renewal and transformation, or the journey of life. It represents our deep connection between sexuality and creativity, encouraging us to tap into the potent energy of our deepest desires and passions. So when you pull this card for your client, there is some serious passion going on in their life. This passion is related to raw sexual energy. This card represents that sexuality. Maybe someone not coming out to their parent, right? Maybe they're in a polyamorous relationship, or maybe they're gay or lesbian or transgender, or maybe they're straight and they have gay parents and they want to come out to their parents. This card represents that energy. It represents that feeling of hanging in there, right? Endurance is one of our key words. We want them to understand that connection between sexuality and creativity, right? We know that sexuality is creation. It's that desire to create. It's that desire to create love, connection, emotion, energy, and just passion. Right? It's just being passionate. You can be passionate without being sexual. There are many people out there who are not connected into sexual relationships. They have relationships with other people that are monogamous, that maybe their life partner, and they've not had sexual interactions for years and years and years, but they are still very much deeply devoted to each other and very much in love. So this may represent that energy being there. You can be sexual with someone without having intercourse. And hopefully the YouTube censors won't get me on that one. I may have to give this a PG rating for that comment right there. The red mullet card invites us to reflect on where we need to embrace vitality and creativity and power. It calls us to nourish ourselves, right? To feed that energy that we want. It recognizes abundance around us and the understanding to grow and to look at the natural flow of life, knowing that each phase, right, from birth to death holds its own significant growth and transformation. Each point, each area, each place where you transition from one point to another, that point in your life, my goodness, the censors are going to get me. I mentioned sex and transition in the same video. Hopefully I don't get banned, y'all. Please put a like in there. Make sure I get a thumbs up so they don't get rid of me. But I digress. So this card encourages us to trust that natural flow of life. It holds its own potential. Each part of our life is that moment where we can grow. We don't have to be the same person we used to be. I'm definitely not the same person I was yesterday, let alone 10 years ago. So we grow and change every day. And connecting with the energy of this card shows us that we have that endurance to continue to grow and keep going. So that is our red mullet card. And now we're going to pull our final card for the day. And this final card is the moon card. Now, the moon card represents full healing and feminine energy. Now, we know that the moon card, the moon represents everyone. The moon is in Hecatean beliefs. It's in all sorts of spirituality. They represents the feminine divine. It represents energy and healing and cleansing. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I had rocks on the counter getting cleansed in the moonlight, or collected copious amounts of moon water. Let's see what I have underneath here. I mean, I have amazing amounts of moon water that I've collected through the nights of the full moon. Everyone respects and loves the full moon. It represents that illumination, the healing and reflection. Hecate is the keeper of the moon, right? She's the guardian of the oceans, the seas and the skies, the heavens and the earth. So she is the keeper of this moon. It represents the cycles of the moon, whether it be the full moon or the dark moon or the new moon. All of these cycles are represented within this card. We're reminded when we pull this card for one of our clients that maybe they are looking for that feminine healing. Maybe it's a connection to their mother. Maybe it's a connection to their daughter. Maybe it's a connection to some female figure in their life that they feel they need to be more connected to. The moonlight illuminates the dark, offering clarity and understanding through spiritual practices like divination and meditation. The full moon is a great time to sit down and do your divination materials, like through either it be, I'm not sure if this is visible, yeah it is, through like a scrying mirror that you may have, or maybe fire divination. I personally prefer photomancy, right? I prefer reading pictures. You can order some of my services on my website where you'll send me some photos and I'll do photo readings for you. That's my preferred method of divination. There are any number of methods out there. I mean, they're unlimited really when you think about it, because you can read just about anything. But for me, the moon plays an important role in that type of thing. The moon is often linked through the shadow and subconscious. It's a place where truths are hidden and deep wisdom may lay within. We've all heard the word lunatic, right? The moon represents that power to make people, I don't want to say go mad, but to release their inhibitions. And because the light is out there, there are more people who are outside just because there's more light, right? So just the fact of that moon being there and being that guiding light, it makes it something that we can connect with. With Hecate's guidance, the moonlight can reveal the deeper layers of our psyche and illuminate the path forward, especially when we feel lost or uncertain. Today, the moon asks us to spend time reflecting on our inner world, take moments to meditate and connect with your intuition, to allow the moonlight to reveal what's been hidden the whole time. Are there truths there that are waiting to be uncovered? It reminds us of the healing that comes through, and it embraces our emotional landscape, trusting the guidance that we receive from within. So when we think about this card, we can connect with it on so many levels. We can connect with it from the familial side, right? So let's talk about that feminine energy. Grandmothers, mothers, daughters, cousins, nieces. Any of that energy would flow through this card. So if you're pulling for a client, there may be something related to one of those people in their lives. The cleansing aspect, which we touched on earlier, the moon offers us the ability to not only cleanse those items around us, but cleanse ourselves. We can go out and bathe in the moonlight, right? Go outside and be under the full moon. It's a glorious experience if you've not had the opportunity to do that. So these 3 cards, right, are our last cards of the suit. And it is the horse, the red mullet, and the moon. They all carry powerful messages about freedom and vitality and our need to embrace our spiritual journeys with trust and confidence. Whether it's breaking free from constraints, trusting the natural rhythm of life, or listening or illuminating our intuition, Hecate is guiding us to each step of clarity, courage, and strength to face whatever comes. So I hope this has been enjoyable for you. I hope you've been able to connect with these cards. Again, these are part of the correspondence suit of the Crossroads Oracle. The Crossroads Oracle is a devotional deck that I created for my TorchBearer project as part of my goal to become more connected and to be a part of the Covenant of Hecate. You can learn more about the Covenant of Hecate on HecateCovenant.com. You can also learn more about this deck and the Sanctuary of Hecate Brimo on HecateBrimo.org. I hope that you have a glorious day today, and I look forward to talking with you soon.